Year veteran of the U.S. Senate. Before that, he was a 12-year veteran of the House, and for good measure, he spent 6 days in space on board the Space Shuttle Columbia, the last mission before the Challenger accident. Senator, thank you very much for coming on tonight. How many of your former colleagues are you in touch with, and are you in touch with enough of them to speak with any clarity about how this witness issue may be migrating?
Brian, I've been staying away from them, but I know them well, and I can tell you that the two senators, Lisa Murkowski and Susan Collins, are very uncomfortable. I bet that Susan wishes that when she considered 2 or 3 years ago of running for governor, that she had now run for governor. But at the end of the day, I'm going to make a prediction that they will vote for witnesses because the case is becoming very, very compelling.
Well, and the problem is we can all imagine this happening in our modern day and age. If they vote down witnesses, the Bolton book, which we've already seen a bunch of, comes out on the market, and we get the print version of what John Bolton might have testified to, perhaps changing the course of history.
And hopefully that will change the mind of Lamar Alexander, who's not running for re-election, and a few others, because they are running for re-election. And once Bolton comes in front of the Senate and testifies, I think it's Katie bar the door.
Tell us about Lamar Alexander. Such an interesting case. He's a very close friend of McConnell. He's an institutionalist. We've watched other senators drink the truth serum of retirement. Jeff Flake comes to mind. But do you think Lamar Alexander is legacy-minded in this way?
Lamar is a real gentleman, but he's also a partisan when he needs to be. And if he has an excuse to support McConnell, he's going to. But on something that is so stark as this question of whether or not to call John Bolton, I think Lamar will be in that column with the two women senators that I mentioned.
Senator, my last question for you has to do with the institution you loved and left, and that is the health of the U.S. Senate. How it appears to you, watching by day and by evening on cable television, as I assume you are, is, I'll ask the question they asked years ago in Philadelphia, is the glass half full or half empty?
Increasingly, it's getting a lot more difficult, and therefore the answer would be it's half empty. There was a significant change in the Senate in the 18 years that I served. There was much more collegiality, civility, bipartisanship when I came in after the 2000 election, even after that very tough presidential election. But it's gotten to the point now that what's happened to the Senate has happened to our neighborhoods back home. Friends are now split because of politics and don't talk to each other because of politics. We can't really run a democracy like ours until you can get people of goodwill that will come together, be reasonable, listen to the other person's point of view, and then try to build consensus. That's the ideal of American democracy.
Senator, great to see you again. Thank you for joining us. I wish you good health. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Brian.
And